All right. Well, this is a 2011 Ford Fusion, and it came in because it had transmission issues, shifting, funneling, bucking real hard. And in the previous, or I won't say previous video, but in the footage that you're going to see before this, the reason we changed the transmission because it was leaking out of the connector, the transmission case connector. And it was cheaper to change the whole transmission than to put another circuit board inside. But there's one thing that I saw that made me determine that there might be an extra problem, and that is on this transmission here. If you can see, this is the transmission that came out. This is all corroded. Battery acid was falling down onto this transmission, and I had to make a note of this. Brian over here, he's right here, still.
I got called out to program the solenoid and strategy body numbers in here. These numbers right here are really important anytime you're working with these transmissions. These are like the pre-programmed in flow rates for the solenoids and I guess the valve body. So I had already gotten called out to do the job over there, and we still had some other issues, right?
Right. And the issue we had was, once we put the transmission in, it was still bucking and jerking, and it had a temperature sensor code, weird code. So I had the technician, Billy, take loose the wire loom, and so we can inspect these wires. And here we see that that battery acid has been running through the wire loom on these wires here. And a lot of these wires go down to the transmission case connector, which is right there. Okay, so here's how the wires ran. If you saw in that other transmission there, it had ran down and damaged this plastic piece and also ate inside the paint. So I figured there had to be an issue if the wire loom was right here with these wires. So now, according to Bryant, what do you think has to be done?
I think we definitely got to get in here and inspect these wires all the way, like down further, because the main problem is right in here. There's no doubt about it. These are actually compromised. What happens is that battery acid will actually make the insulation really soft, and it will actually conduct electricity between different circuits, and that's causing basically shorting other circuits together. Maybe not a full-blown short like as if two bare conductors were connected, but you will have voltage. Anytime we got a difference in potential, difference in voltage, you will have current flowing from one circuit to another, and it could cause all kinds of weird problems on this vehicle. So the big thing is you probably have to cut back into a section of wire up here, and you can actually feel where the insulation is soft, where it turns colors, but you want to get into a good wire and then go ahead and make your repair. Looks like somebody's already been down here. Check this out.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's you?
What happened is, at one time, I was not getting the turbine speed sensor reading. So what I did, I hooked into this wire with my oscilloscope. I didn't show that. And I was getting the reading from the sensor.
Okay.
But the scan tool wouldn't show a reading.
Okay.
But then after wiggling it a bit, I saw it on the scan tool. So this wire is one of the wires that is this one here.
It's compromised right here, yeah. So, yeah, it's, so as you're getting in there, the problem was coming and going. Sometimes you can pull on these. I mean, I don't want to break it, it's going to get replaced, but sometimes I'll pull on it and it'll actually, sometimes the copper inside will actually get weak and it'll actually pull apart. But yeah, this is a big problem for sure. Got to get this straightened around and stop those electrons from flowing when they're not supposed to.
What do you think about this big ground wire and this
big power? I would maybe I would probably try and clean them off. Definitely baking soda or something to neutralize the battery acid would be the best thing. You don't want them touching together, because believe it or not, the battery on this might, if this insulation is compromised, it could actually cause a short to ground. This is big, probably unprotected circuits right from the battery. There might be a giant fuse up here. Let's see. No, there's no fuse. This is direct. There's no fuse between here and there. So, and of course, grounds aren't fused. So, you definitely want to separate those wires, clean them up, and once you get them clean, inspect them a little bit. Make sure there's no compromise, because that could cause a direct short to ground, and that will burn the vehicle down. We don't want that.
What do you think about? You think it should peel back that insulation first, or just try to clean?
Well, I mean, ideally, probably the best repair would be to replace this stuff. I mean, ideally, but We gotta see how soft this is. I don't like touching battery acid, but you know, I can feel it's a little bit softer than say up in other spots probably. Maybe up in here. But yeah, this wire's definitely been compromised for sure.
Okay, so I got a big job here. Sitting down and replacing portions of this wire. Well, I have to thank Mr. Bryant over here from Hands-On Auto Training. We've been trying to get together. He has with me and me with him all to make a video, and he finally convinced each other.
Yeah, so thank you.
Make sure you go and see his channel, Hands-On Auto Training on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is my best buddy.
Yeah.
Known each other for some time now.
A little while now. It's been a while. I think probably 9 or 10 years.
That's right. We were fussing at one time. Hey, but
We were fussing all right.
all right.
What do you think about this? I don't know. I can't tell you. Well, come on. You got to be able to tell me.
All right, everybody, have a good day. Like I'm gonna have to put a lot of this whole harness on here on this fusion, because not only did it run in here, but it ran down. I pulled this from the transmission. This transmission connector was down there. It also ran on down into these wires here. This is the transmission case connector, so I'm not going to trust that because it has all this acid on these wires too. So I'm going to disconnect it right here, and I'm going to have to probably, I don't know, this is not transmission wires over here, but I'm going to have to cut these, and I don't know what it'd do to this big wire. I may have to cut this and this one. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I got a big job to do here with all this garbage. This is what battery acid does to a car. The Ford Fusion. You know, where's the, yeah, there's a, oh. There's the shift solenoid strategy. Alright, you got some work to do here. Lots of work.